the King of Fighters 15. This is the base edition. So you guys probably saw the video where I talked about the one I got from Pix and Love, that collector's edition. Well, I had already had this base edition, and you know, I really like this game. I think they did a really good job on it. I just don't like the fact that the season pass situation has characters that were in the previous game as regular characters, but now they're DLC characters. Mostly I'm talking about Geese Howard and the Southtown team. I was kind of mad about that. They should have already been on the disc or whatever, but I don't know. I just feel like the DLC characters should be more like new characters we never seen before. But anyways, this is a solid game. I would say check it out for around $40. The Evil Within. So this is a fantastic survival horror game, and I already own this game on the PS3 and the PS4. I just picked up the 360 version because it was like going for $2, and I figured like, hey, backwards compatibility, maybe there's some kind of upgrade. It might be cool to have, but this is an awesome survival horror game that should not be missed. But I actually preferred the second game over the first one. The second game is probably one of my favorite survival horror games of all time, but this one, it would have been higher up there if the story had picked up a bit faster. The game is around 15 chapters, I believe, if I remember correctly. And you don't really find out what's going on until around like maybe the 11th chapter, you know. So it's like all this weirdness going on, and it's a lot of weirdness, it's a lot of craziness, but you need some story behind it sometimes. You don't get the story until a little bit later. Some people might have quit by that time, but you know, those who stuck with it, I guess you get it. But anyways, Evil Within, definitely add this one on your list if you haven't played it.
I created this world. You cannot keep me here.
They had Dragon Ball Fighter Z at GameStop for like $7, and I said, you know what, let me go ahead and try this game again. It's not that I didn't like the game before, but you know, with the whole thing with the saturated, like they wanted you to buy a lot of DLC for this game, it just kind of threw me off. So I figured they would eventually make a complete version, and still to this day they have not. I figured it would come out on the PS5 anyways, but for $7 for the base game, I'm totally fine with that. I'm not going to download any characters. I'm good with who's on here. So I've talked about this game before, so I'm not going to go too much into it. If you like fighting games, fast fighting games that is, Dragon Ball FighterZ might be up your alley. It can be too fast sometimes. I need to get used to it again, but overall, when I had it before, when it first came out, it was pretty fun. Bigfoot Collision Course. The only reason I picked this up was because it was cheap, and it was published by Zoo. Now, Zoo is a company that's published a lot of like really bad games and some really hidden gems. Now, I'm not judging this game just as of yet, but you guys can pretty much tell me what you guys think about it if you played it before. You know, I just picked it up, a new DS game, wanted to try it out. Bigfoot, Zoo publisher, why not? So here's The Last of Us Part 2. So before I get into this game, I want to give a shout out to Level 1 Online for talking me into buying this game for $10. And a shout out to Jason for talking me into playing it finally. Look, I'm just going to say it. In order to like surpass the first game, they really needed to up the ante in this game. And they did that with the crazy storytelling. Now, whether you agree with the story or not, you know, I just feel like it was still well done, but at the same time, one scene was just too brutal for you to really actually like the other character from that point on. They should have handled that a bit differently. But gameplay-wise, the game was outstanding. Had a lot of fun with it. One of my favorite parts in the game was actually when you're crossing that bridge across to that other building. I think that part was great. I mean, but I thought the whole game was great. I had a good time, but just certain characters weren't written well for me, and I know a lot of people felt like that too. But still, as much as I don't want to say this, but this is actually better than the first game. It's as simple as that. They really did everything a lot better besides the story. But anyways, guys, I enjoyed the game. If you guys see it out there for $10 on sale, I say definitely try it out. If you get to a scene that gets too brutal or you don't care, just skip it, and then you'll forget all about it. That's what I did a couple of times, and I didn't have to see certain stuff, so I was good. But anyways, yeah, that's all I got to say about this game. No, I'm not doing no review on it. I don't want to talk about this game any more than I have to. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. So my buddy Scott gifted me No More Heroes Part 3. I have not played any of the previous games. I did play Travis Strikes Back briefly, and I thought that one was cool, but people have told me I should play the regular series before I get into that one. So since I have this one now, I'll play this one, and if I like it, I'll go back and play the other ones as prequels. And I think I'll still get, you know, a good gist of the story if I do it that way. I actually did that with Mega Man Legends, so I played Part 1 briefly, I didn't like it. And then I played Part 2, loved it, went back and played Part 1, and thought it was awesome. So I think I might get the same experience with these games. And next up we have Eastward. I have not played this game before, and I heard a lot of good things about it. So when I was at GameStop, they actually got one copy in. It seemed like every GameStop only got like one copy unless people pre-order it. And I don't think a lot of people knew that this was getting a physical release in America. So I said, you know what, let me take a gamble on it and pick this one up. So you guys let me know if you think I made a good choice on this one. Monster Hunter Stories Part 2. So maybe a lot of people don't know this, but the first game was actually released on the 3DS, and it was actually a really cool turn-based RPG. I actually played it briefly. So I wanted to try this one out. This one actually went on sale, I think on Amazon for around $25. So I said, you know what, okay, I'll pay that and try it out. I've heard good things about this game, and it's been a while since I've played a turn-based RPG that was really good. So I'm hoping this is that one that kind of stands out. It might not be, but it still looks like an above average effort by Capcom, so I'm hoping this one is going to be that game.
It's said that a beat of its wings can bring about waves of destruction.
Many people believe there's a connection between the strange happenings and the wings of ruin. The pits are appearing everywhere, and they're emitting a strange light.
Here's Doki Doki Plus Literature Club. This game is a psychological horror, and I found out about this game because there was a lot of trend behind it. You know, a lot of people were talking about this game, saying, hey, you got to play this game. And by looking at the cover alone, you don't know what to expect from this type of game. You just show somebody's face looking at you. So the game offhand pretty much looks like a visual novel, but it's actually much more than that. And I haven't really got to all the crazy bits in this game yet, but knowing that it's a psychological horror game, I don't know what to expect. So I feel like it's going to be something like very, I don't want to say similar to Root Letter, but more like I don't know, maybe something like the Zero Escape series. I have no idea, but I know a lot of people were raving about this game, how cool it was. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying it out. You guys in the comments, let me know what you think about this one if you played it. All right, so here's Infernax. Oh man, this game it pretty much came out of nowhere for me. This game, it just hits all the feels. It's very similar to games, old school games like Castlevania 2. What else? It's just so many games this game's similar to, and it makes it so freaking awesome. Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. This adventure game is just something else, man. And the guys who created this, it's definitely a love letter to people who play those old school 8-bit games. I actually saw this game for the first time when I saw my buddy Jason playing it. So actually playing it recently, and it was kind of funny. So the game starts off where you get off the boat. You're about to go into your country, and you see a zombie on, I think on like a cross or something like that. And pretty much the game's fun starts there because it's pretty much you could like choose the way you play the game immediately. I chose to get back on the boat. I talked to the shipmate, and he said, "Hey, let's get out of here." And when we left, I got one of the endings to the game. So I thought that was just pretty hilarious that the creators put that in there. And it's funny because, you know, some people can say, hey, yeah, I beat the game in a couple of minutes, you know. If they didn't really like the game that much or whatever, they can say, yeah, I beat the game. And they actually did, because that is an ending you get in the game. But of course, I'm not going to end the game like that. I'm going to play the game like it was meant to be played. And what's cool about this game is you get these decisions to whether you want to help people or not help him, and they become like pretty much critical choices for you for depending on what ending you want to get in the game. So right here you're seeing I have to slay this guy or help him. I chose to slay because he's pretty much turned into a zombie and there's nothing I can really do to help him, and I showed no mercy. Now, I feel like I made the right decision here, but if I did try to help him in another decision I made, he pretty much transformed into a boss that you have to fight. Boss is not hard, but still, you know, you feel like you could avoid that decision if you just slain him like you wanted. Also, since this game is very similar to Castlevania 2, it has a transition from night into day that's not as frequent as it was on Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, which was annoying. This game does it sparingly. There's a lot to talk about with this game, and I'm still in the beginning stages of it, but cool boss fights, great music. I mean, just all around, I feel like this is going to be an awesome experience. And there are so many different ways to play this game. I know there's a Contra code for this game where you can play the game as a Contra character, which is pretty hilarious. And that has its own ending and bosses. So just a lot to look forward to in this game. I would say if you have a chance to pick this one up, definitely add it to your collection, especially if you like old school 8-bit games, 8-bit adventure games like Castlevania 2, Zelda 2, or if you just overall want a good adventure experience. Memories Retold. So I found out about this game because I was doing some research on the company who created Road 96, and this was the game they made prior to that. So basically you play as two soldiers on different sides of the war with different types of goals pretty much. One is looking for their son, missing son, and the other one, I forgot, he's like a photographer, and I think he's just trying to get back home to his love. But I'm still in the beginning stages of the game, and the art style for it looks like, you know, something out of a water painting pretty much. I don't know if those type of graphics will make people mad. You know, I wish they would have went, you know, I know they're trying to be visual, but, you know, I just wish this was like a secondary option. But still, yeah, the game still looks cool, and I'm looking forward to like seeing how the story plays out. Here's the PAL PSP version of Samurai Showdown Anthologies. I've always thought this collection was really outstanding, especially with the inclusion of Samurai Showdown 6. Now, 6 is my favorite game next to 3 because all the characters from the previous games are pretty much included in 6, as well as a few new ones. Now, Part 3 is my favorite, but the only reason that's my favorite because that was the first one I actually was good at. You know, I know 3 is probably considered the worst in the series, which I understand that. It was very different. But, anyways, this collection of games is really outstanding, and I don't know if a lot of people collect for the PSP, but this game is available on the PS2 and the Wii, but I'm pretty sure that people are going to go for that other Samurai Showdown Anniversary Edition that comes with Samurai Showdown 5 Perfect on there, which is an outstanding game. I can't believe that game was hitting all these years. But anyways, yeah, definitely try this game out. Alright, so I had got rid of these games before, but I decided to pick them back up because they were on sale for like $10 a piece. So with the release of Back 4 Blood, you know, I thought I would really forget about these games, but Back 4 Blood, not that I'm trying to talk down about the game, but they add too much stuff to that game, like customization. It's just, I don't know, it just feels off. I just wanted something that was very, like, I don't know, just maybe a direct sequel to Left 4 Dead. Not saying Back 4 Blood is bad, but there's just something with that game that I just can't get with, man. But anyways, wanted to add these to the collection again because with the backwards compatibility of the Xbox Series X, I'll be able to play these games on modern platforms again. So anyways, guys, yeah, let me know what you guys think about Back 4 Blood compared to Left 4 Dead. I'm interested in hearing you guys' thoughts. And here is Eternal Blade Part 2. The original game came out on the 3DS, and I think came out on consoles as digital as well. But Part 2 got a physical release, and this is pretty much a action, puzzle, story-driven adventure game. Now, I played this game a few years ago, and when I was playing it again now, I was trying to get used to it. Now, this is an interesting game, but I feel like it adds too many, like, it tries to mix things up too much where it's kind of weird, like the game doesn't know what it wants to be. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I'm still trying to get further in this game. I got stuck on a puzzle that pissed me off, so not much footage to be shown here, but I don't know. You guys let me know if I should keep this one. Here's Turbo Prop Racing. To be honest with you guys, I have no idea why I picked this game up. Well, yeah, I do. The game was like going for $1, so I said, you know, it's a PS1 game I've never heard of. Let me try it out. And it's actually pretty cool, but I don't know. It's just very basic. You know, the racing is cool, but, you know, it's just that the game doesn't have, like, too many other options besides the racing. You know, there's other games I could play that have, like, extras and stuff like that. But the racing in this is actually pretty good. So if you see this out there for a couple bucks, I think you definitely should try it out. But I don't know how long it's going to hold your attention. Finally got Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I was kind of waiting for this game just to go on sale. My buddy Kyle said, man, just here. He found it on sale and he sent me a copy of it. So this is the type of game that if I start playing it, like, I will stop. Everything around me will cease to exist, man. This game is so good. These games, of course, are so good, man. And it's so amazing that I'm finally going to be able to play all these games with all the DLC and just experience everything like it was meant to be. I can't say enough good things about Mass Effect. You know, this series was awesome. And, you know, it was kind of crazy that they announced a sequel to this. I thought they were going to end it with the Shepard Saga, but no. It looks like Shepard Saga will continue. So, Mass Effect will live on. Alright, so here is A Magical High School Girl. This was sent to me by Strictly Limited, and I had no idea what type of game this was, but before we talk about the game, I want to show you this collector's edition that they sent me. Now, I gotta admit, Strictly Limited always puts a lot of love into their collector's editions, and this one, they did the same thing. It's kind of funny because this actually comes with high school supplies, you know, like stuff you would take to school. Like, there's an eraser, you see the pencil here. It's just pretty hilarious. And of course, like most of their collector's editions, they got that art book. So this one is called a yearbook, though, so pretty hilarious. But this book pretty much shows you the characters, art, different types of spells, stuff like that. I gotta give it to Strictly Limited, man. This is a cool collector's edition. All I was missing was a soundtrack. So this game, what I played, is pretty much like a rogue dungeon crawler. Actually, it goes by a magic crafting rogue-like RPG. And the RPG part is that you create your own weapons in this game, or spells that you can use, and also the game is somewhat turn-based with the actions you take against enemies. But you play as a girl trying to find her way home, and for some reason it's pretty much a maze. So it's pretty interesting. I wasn't expecting the game to be like this. You'll get to some parts in the game where you'll be able to like buy new spells and things like that in health packs, but usually on the map you'll be able to find a lot of that stuff too. And when you find these crystals, you can actually name your spells. So say that you name a crystal that you get heal, then next thing you know, you got healing magic. If you get another crystal, you name it fire, then you all have a fire magic, and so on. So it's actually pretty cool. So it's interesting. I don't know if I like the type of like games where you either like go through random mazes, but this one's okay. I don't know. It'll take some getting used to, I would say. You know, I don't play many roguelike RPGs, so this one just kind of like just fell into my lap. Here's Clockwork Ocarina. So this game has a lot of history behind it, and oh man, this game is almost 30 years old, but it was just released recently, probably about a few months ago. So So, what you are seeing here is what comes with the collector's edition of the game. You have the game itself, the art book, the soundtrack, and a bunch of art extras that come with the game. This originally was going to be an arcade game, but it was never released in arcades because the testing for it didn't go well, so they ended up like scrapping the game. But here's a lot of art stickers for the game. It's just really cool that this collector's edition came with all this stuff. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at some gameplay for it. As you can see, this is an arcade platform adventure game, and it's actually pretty fun. But it's kind of funny, you know, though this game is beautiful in color, the sprite work and everything like that, it feels like that as an arcade game, this wouldn't really do well, and I can understand why, because this is something I would rather play on a console rather than an arcade. From what I heard, they had pretty good production in this game done before they kind of scrapped it, so it's kind of sad that they weren't able to finish it back in the day, but I guess better late than never. You know, it's kind of a miracle that this game was actually released, so thanks to Strictly Limited for like putting this out there, man. I mean, honestly, you know, it's nice to see like lost games get revived, and this is really cool to see. Here is Pac-Man Museum Plus. This is an awesome compilation of 14 of the best games in the Pac-Man franchise. My favorite being Pac-N-Pal. I know that's a weird one, but that's my favorite one. This package is awesome, but it is kind of annoying because you have to unlock certain games by playing older games like 1 or 2 times. I think that's annoying. I wanted the games to be like unlockable from the beginning, but it's not a big deal. It's just a pet peeve. I just figured like I had to like play a game I didn't want to play a game I did want to play at first. So it's like it's annoying. But anyways, this is definitely the best Pac-Man compilation out there. It's something I think a lot of people would want to have. It has Pac-Man games on here I never even heard of. I didn't even know it existed in the arcade. So it's just nice to see all this stuff just put in one compilation. I mean, maybe this is the year compilation. You know, we're getting Ninja Turtles, I think. Well, hopefully this year, that Cowabunga collection, and a couple other ones I can't think of right now. But hopefully companies will continue to do this, you know. So a lot of these games, you know, like nobody's really like talking about them anymore. So you put them in a collection and you get people playing them again. So sorry guys, I got to end the video here. I had a few more games I wanted to put on this list, but I just found out Stranger Things Season 4 is out, and I'm ready to watch it. So anyways, I believe a link in the description if you guys want to pick up Pac-Man Museum Plus. It's definitely worth your time. I wish I'd go into more detail about it, but I am trying to watch Stranger Things. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you all have a great Memorial Day weekend. Radical Reggie, and I will see you guys later.